I think somehow through human history and the evolution of music, it like mirrors our emotions and is a way of expressing those emotions and also creating emotions. Very recently, I realized just how much. I mean, I always knew that sing a happy song, feel happier. Sing a sad song when you're sad, and you're like, ooh, and it kind of enhances your emotion either in a good way or a bad way. But very recently, um, my partner was playing some music that is not my genre, so it was kind of progressive rock. And turns out, progressive rock is often in a minor key and often in a different rhythm, so not 4/4. This one was happened to be like 13/4 and switching to like 5/4, and although I can appreciate the musicality of that, and that's certainly what he appreciates about that music, somehow it was making me anxious and cranky. And the music alone was just literally like, I didn't realize that. Like I was like just sitting there and getting crankier and crankier, and I'm like, nothing else is happening. Why am I having this almost angry response? And I realized that something about that music was not working for me, not working for me. And I was like, hey, honey, could we find something with a 4/4 beat right now that's upbeat? And it literally, like, he found a song right away, and it was like instantly, like I had literally my face turned into a smile, and it changed my mood completely. And so we've just discovered that maybe he listens to that by himself, and we find something that we can listen to together. But I think that's why it's so important, is that even just, even listening to it and not even paying attention to it, it has a connection to the brain. And it's, I mean, literally your ear is moving. Your inner ear, all the cilia are literally moving in your head and connecting to all your brain stuff, which is affecting, then there's an output of some kind. And so just listening alone does a lot. And then playing or singing changes the whole experience as well, because then you're creating this music. And so your brain is having to do all this stuff, and you're just connecting with something outside of yourself, but that's also inside of yourself. um, so I don't have a deep specific answer to this, but it definitely really, it literally resonates in our bodies and in our heads.
I think that music, for me at least, music is a conduit to my emotions. So it's a way for me, when I'm playing music, to express my feelings, but also when I hear music, it kind of gives me insight sometimes into my own feelings, because you never know what's going to affect you. You hear a song, but at least I do. I know this happens to a lot of people. I hear a song and I feel like it like held up a mirror to me, or it opened a door and made me understand something, or it expressed a feeling that I was having that I hadn't quite been able to express clearly, even to myself before. So it's better than therapy. It seems to, if one approaches it with an open mind and an open heart, it seems to just be very revealing to me, about myself and about others. And I mean, I could go on. Music has taught me humility. Music has taught me a lot about life, and so to me, it's almost a philosophy that I'm trying to understand better. It's a way of looking at the world, or a lens through which one can look at the world and understand it and oneself better.
It's something that we as human beings respond to, and what it does to the vibrations. Music, from a technical standpoint, are vibrations. Tones, notes, sounds are created when something vibrates. You play a string, it vibrates a certain frequency. You get certain players together, and they are creating vibrations through their instruments and through their voices and through their beating on their drums and playing their keyboards. These things all are vibrations. Something within us that responds when the vibrations are all intermeshed a certain way. Like when you see three musicians playing together, when you see the Jimi Hendrix Experience and there's three musicians, there's a fourth element that's created. When you see when you see the Beatles play, there's four musicians, there's a fifth element that's created. Every number, and without those three people playing together, you don't get that fourth thing. And I think it's the combination of the vibrations of what the performers are physically playing and what they're feeling. And that's why live music is so important, because the immediacy of what happens in front of you in a live performance. Like we had live performances before recording. And the only way you could get that was by seeing someone in person. There was no recording of it. If you didn't see or hear them, you didn't get it. That's why the vibrations are so key, I think.
I remember as a kid, just how exciting music was to me. Like I'd go to a little church bazaar, and there'd be, when I was 6 or 7 or something, there'd be a Dixieland band, banjo and trumpet, and the guy going high on the clarinet. And I remember just running around like a madman, it was like, it was so exciting and just fascinating to me. So I was always that kid who I think everybody's affected by music. And I know for myself, I'm very, very strongly affected by it.
Music is medicine. Just don't overdose or take the wrong medicine. It's that powerful. It can incite and it can soothe. It's amazing to me.
When you hear a song performed in a kind of exquisite way that Dave Van Ronk or others are able to do, it can change your life right then and there. You'll never be the same. And it's song. It's not poem. It's not prose. It's the mixture of melody and lyric that moves you such a depth of appreciation that you're a different person from then on, and you will remember it all your life with such devotion and gratitude. You were there at that moment. You'll remember where you're standing at the bar when you heard that particular thing.
The power of music and songs is just incredible. It's incredible. I mean, For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield was from 1960, whatever. And, in I don't know where I saw it recently. Stephen Stills was there, and I think the Democratic National Convention. I'm hearing For What It's Worth. And I'm going, wow. It just blows me away, the staying power of our music from that era to today.
I think it's because it's processed by our bodies in a way that almost nothing else is. Like our cerebellum, our brainstem gets that rhythm going. Our limbic system that processes our emotions is activated. So when we're just talking, it isn't so activated, but when we're in music, it just lights up, and that allows us to feel those emotions. And what makes us hear that song that we loved, and immediately the floodgates open, and we start crying. It could be the lyrics, that we're processing and that are bringing us back to our hippocampus and our memory. And even when we love that music, it gives us that hit of dopamine, that dopamine release that floods our body, with that goosebumpy feeling, which is so healthy and so good for us.
I think it's the melodies. Now you can have the best written prose or poems and so forth, and they work as poems and so forth. But the melodies in conjunction with these moving lyrics really can move people to the heights of joy and sadness and so forth.
In a way, it's a way to bring people together. I actually just earlier today heard a quote from one of Pierce the Veil's band members, which I'm sure you probably got it from somewhere else, but it's that there are, I think, like, I don't know how many languages there are in the world, but music is the one language we all understand and can grasp. And I guess it's just a way to kind of convey emotions that you really, like, you can't walk up to somebody and say, hey, this is what I feel, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm going through, because that's really hard to do. But if you kind of weave it into lyrics and song and emotion with your guitar or your drums or bass, whatever, you can really put that out there, get it off your chest without having to throw it in somebody's face. And then you can kind of, other people will take that and put it their own twist on it and be like, okay, well, I know this was about this person's breakup, but this really relates to my loss of a family member. And then they can just, it just brings us all together and can really save lives.
Music is that special thing that can traverse between boundaries, you know, and I find, especially here where we live, that there's, just like in the rest of our nation, you know, there's a big divide in what people believe and you know, what party they're affiliated with and things like that. But you can always find a place of connection in music, always, you know. And I find that so interesting, that I could be so diametrically opposed to someone politically. And of course, I don't talk about my politics and things like that. That doesn't really have a place in my therapeutic sessions. But I can be so diametrically opposed, and yet we can love the same music. And then that sort of fuels seeing the good in each other and seeing places where there are connection. And I can't think of another thing that does that but music.
I think it's such it can be a release, it can be a way to lift your mood, it's just a way to, I mean, I play in a band, so it's a way for all 6 of us just to get together. We all have one common interest, and then you learn, oh, well, I have other common interests with this person, and I've met some really great people through it. So it's a way of just connecting.
If people really want to embrace a part of life that is quite magical, quite stirring, quite moving, empathy inducing, connecting, it's music. So however you make music, whether it's a spoon, a kazoo, a bass fiddle, a piano, an organ, harmonica, or a good old-fashioned hum, do it.